firm offers insurance services.
Outside of the listing area, it's 352-622-9622. Although, coming up soon, I think, July 1st, I think you're going to have to do 352.
352 on everything, yeah.
Not your cell phones, but your house phone, your landlines.
Does anybody still have a landline?
I actually know people that have a landline.
Yeah, and if you're, honestly, if you're smart, you keep a landline, because if the hurricanes knock out
landline still works.
Right. You don't need to charge your.
I'll tell you a funny story.
You don't need to charge your landline unless now if it's a cordless landline, you might be SOL. But get an old school corded phone and
well, how old school, Caroline?
Touch tone. I grew up with a rotary on the wall in the kitchen.
I know listeners of this show and a sponsor of this show just shipped in their office. There's a.
Oh, really?
And it's the big black one. Oh, yeah.
You can't.
Susan has a collector's item.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. But, yeah, you're not transferring too many.
And if somebody broke into her business or something, she could hit them with that phone.
That's true, and actually do some damage.
Do some serious damage with that rotary phone.
Yeah.
You know what I like, if you see on YouTube videos and all?
The
people that give the 15-year-olds the rotary phone, and they pick it up and they hear dial tone, so they hang it up, and then they dial the number, and they pick it up and hear dial tone, and they're like, it's not working.
Right, yeah, here, figure this out. Here's the phone number, figure it out. How do you do it?
622-9622 is the number to call if you want Caroline to help you how to figure out what's going wrong or what's going just a little different in your gardens, your flower beds, your grass, your trees. I learned about a new tree today. It's not a tree. It's actually a flowering plant that goes 30 feet high.
Yeah, the century plant slash agaves.
And agave, what they make?
The blue agave is what they make the
tequila out of. That's what I was thinking.
That's only in Tequila, Mexico is where it can be.
Can we grow blue agave in Florida?
Actually, you can.
I would think you could probably grow it here.
You could figure out how to make, how to press the.
I'm just saying.
Now, I will say one thing is do be careful if you do take the undertaking of cutting off, because I'm not sure if that flower stem would do the same thing. Agaves can put a nasty blister on your skin by coming in contact with the sap.
Really?
Yes.
It puts a nasty blister on my liver every time I do a shot of tequila.
Yeah. See, same thing.
Unless it's Patron, then it probably doesn't put a nasty blister.
It just does that little one. Just sort of
puts a nasty blister on my wallet then.
But, so do, if you're working, if you're needing to trim things off, wear long sleeves, wear gloves, wear, long pants.
Isn't that the rule when you're gardening and all? Because, and I know it's hot, and I know it's Florida, but like yesterday, I went over and we have the big pot,
right.
It's like a 50-gallon pot. It's huge.
Yeah, huge.
And that's what the bell pepper plants are in.
Okay.
And just on the very outside of the pot, but in the pot itself, but on the very outside of the dirt, there was this plant growing. And I go, that's obviously a weed. It's not a bell pepper. I reached in there and pulled it out. Ow!
Oh, you had stinging nettle in there.
It has stickers all over it.
Oh.
And I'm like, if I'd had on a pair of gloves,
that wouldn't
happen.
Or even going through, you're pulling weeds. We have fire ants.
Yeah, they'll tear you up.
And I was never one to wear gloves gardening. I like the feel of the dirt. I don't mind dirt under my fingernails. I think it connects you to the dirt, to your land by feeling it. But fire ants are not nice. And on gloves, for some reason or another, and I don't know how, you actually know you've gotten into the ants before they've gotten to you.
Yeah.
Whether or not you actually have that opportunity that you may be pulling weeds or planting, and whether or not you happen to see the mound after you've dug it a few times, where you can get your gloves off or begin to rinse before you get bitten. And I don't have a severe reaction, but I do have a small reaction to the fire ants. As anybody
I get
will
little
get
blisters, yeah.
but mine, like say my pinky gets bit, my pinky will swell up.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, it hurts.
My
Yeah,
mom used
for
to.
about a day.
My mom would hurt roses because she was always out in the rose garden.
Oh, yeah.
She would put on Playtex gloves, like the
The
rubber gloves,
dishwashing gloves, yeah.
and then she would put on her gardening gloves on top of
In
those
order to help keep the
to make
thorns
sure
in,
that the thorns and the ants.
Right.
Because
Because
the ant gets under your glove, it'll tear you up.
Yes, yeah. But, yeah, it's usually recommended, and especially if you're going to be putting out fertilizers and things like that, or with the sun shining, it's skin damage, one way to get away from not having to slather yourself in sunscreen, wear a shirt with an SPF factor, wear your big wide hat, things like that. It's protective. Most of us don't.
I didn't know shirts came in SPF till the other day. I was out. We were, and you even.
Yeah,
I
wear most of my shirts are SPF.
You even commented on the picture. We were out doing wedding shopping. We were out looking for a shirt for me for my upcoming nuptials sometime between now and January.
There you go.
And one of the shirts we got, the shirt we got was made by a company that's a big company that puts people in fishing shirts. And it's an actual fishing shirt.
Those are very nice looking.
It had SPF 50.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, well, that makes sense because when you're 30 miles out and the sun's beaming, there ain't no shade.
And if you notice, guess what? They're long sleeve.
Oh, speaking of shade, am I seeing shadows outside?
I believe it's looking bright.
Is the sun trying to come through a cloud?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe
Good morning.
Sunshine.
Good morning, you're on with Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Calvin. My question is, I have put down this time-release fertilizer, and I was kind of late.
Okay.
But is it still going to work like they advertise, or what happens with it because of the its past time of fertilizing, according to what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, usually we try to get our last fertilizations in before the rains start. But yeah, when you put that down, it's meant to feed for the 3 or 4 months. So it will feed it here over the summer. You don't need to come back and put anything else down. July or August, maybe something that's just an iron product. There's several on the market, Ironite, Super Iron Plus, Milorganite, all of those different ones. But right now, if you put a slow release fertilizer down within the last few weeks, yes, it's going to feed it all throughout the summer till we come up into the early fall, late summer, early fall feeding again.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
and
you're
have
welcome.
a great day.
You
and
too.
I really enjoyed the program.
Thank you very much, Sonny. Appreciate you being a caller. But yeah, if you get your fertilizer done like you should have, like at the end, I always say the end of May, with it's March, June, and September. If you do it like the end of March, very first part of June, just because the rainy season does usually start, and then we're looking at sometime in mid-September to begin to kick up again in a lawn fertilizer, and even your landscape plants, that you put down your fertilizers. Now, there's some that you can use in your beds that'll last 6 months to where you can do it spring and fall, not having to worry about doing too much after that. But a lot of times in the summer, when we really begin to get the rains or we get the tropical storms that really give us lots and lots of water, where it's leaching a lot of nutrient just out of the soil, and that hence the reason we don't put more down is because it just washes through. An iron supplement during that time, usually say July or August, the grass starts to look a little puny, looks a little peaked. We can put that down and it'll green it up without causing the top growth. Because we all know it's growing like crazy all on its own because it's warm, it's rainy, it's sunny, it's everything conducive to growth. And we don't need to encourage it to grow, we just need to keep it looking nice. So at that point, we just usually go with one of the iron supplements. And like I said, there's a lot of different ones out there on the market that can be used both on the lawn and the vegetable, not the vegetable, but the flower beds. I guess some of them might work in a vegetable garden too, but I'd read the label on them before I'd put it down.
622-9622 is the number to call outside the area. 352-622-9622 is the number if you want to speak with Master Gardener, Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann, I don't think we can say this enough. That's why I'm bringing it up again.
Yeah.
Yesterday I noticed a neighbor of mine had a tree service there, taking down high branches that look like they may or may not be issues during a storm or something. I know the tree services are being booked up, but this is the time where you need to go out and start looking at your trees, and maybe having a professional come over and say, hey, it's hurricane season.
Right.
Claudette, we saw how much destruction Claudette did at 40 miles an hour.
Right.
You know, people think that 40 miles an hour is a bad storm. 40 miles an hour sustained winds for 12, 14 hours.
Is quite a bit, and it's a lot of stress to a tree. And if you've had that, I mean, even if, coming up that maybe you've had some issues last year or the year before you were concerned, we had bad weather, you got something that might be leaning a little bit. You saw that some of them didn't leaf out quite as nicely as they did. Usually we can look at them in early spring, but even I had one that I was concerned about early in the spring and was trying to make arrangements, and actually it did leaf out, but it is one I'm going to pay attention to and probably look at having removed. It's still healthy, but because it was slower than the one all of about 10 or 15 feet away from it, it's kind of going, yeah, you know what, I really don't need that tree that much anyway, because I'm not a big fan of gum trees. They shed branches.
Oh, look,
and
medical airplane going by.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I had a friend of mine that just took down 4 pine trees.
Oh, yeah.
They got struck by lightning last year.
Ooh,
And they had the marks down it, and they got to dead. And I say just took them down. Took them down in February.
okay.
He took them down in February because he was like, they're already dead.
Yep.
They got struck by lightning last year. They, right at the end of hurricane season.
Right.
So he waited until February, and he had some stuff, but he got them taken down.
Right.
Because those are the kind of trees that in a storm, they'll snap easy.
I mean, and not just that. I mean, we don't even need a hurricane.
No,
for that.
just
All
a
you
heavy
need is
microburst.
a saturated soil, and that's what's going to begin to happen. If you notice, we have the heavy rain. The water is sitting in those retention areas for maybe a few hours, and so it's taking a little while for that to perk down. The more rain, and this is our time of year, we recharge everything. Our soil gets very moist. That you have, when you see the trees that come down and the roots the whole root ball comes up, the ground was saturated. That
The
root
ground
system
gave
just
up. It was like,
couldn't
can't
hold
do it.
Yeah, we have sand. Not a lot you're going to do to change that.
And a 40-foot pine, even if it's dead and rotting,
Is
a 40-foot pine on your roof is still doing damage.
Oh yeah, it's still going to go through your roof. Yeah. And there were pictures yesterday, in the news on tree limbs that came through vehicles' windshields and things. Massive.
Yeah, because you don't think about, when you think about hurricane season, I think sometimes we think hurricane season, sustained winds for 12, 14 hours. We don't think about the tornadoes and microbursts.
Yeah, they spawn off on them many times. We don't always get the tornadoes here in Central Florida, but they have. I mean, we
got one in Chicago 2 days ago.
Yeah.
In Metro Chicago, there were tornadoes.
Yeah, and that's
That's a little weird. A little weird,
but it's just when conditions are right for those kind of things. So it is a matter of, and we're getting the rain. Watch, it's mosquito season.
I know it every morning.
We try to go out in the yard, but now the heat and humidity. Check your plant saucers. I mean, right now I've turned all my saucers upside down, just because my plants don't need the water. So I could turn my clay saucers over. It just puts the plant up on a little bit of a pedestal. But the water's not sitting in those saucers, creating a mosquito breeding area. Walk around, make sure the kids' toys, the buckets and things like that are not collecting water. You've got bird baths in that. Make sure you're cleaning those out. We don't use bleach in a bird bath, but vinegar is fine. To put in, just use a brush, hose them out. So you got, your water for your birds and things like that. But that's,
Vinegar is a real good cleaning substance for that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is a real good cleaning solution and does not leave a toxic after effect for, wildlife. So that's where we go with it.
And a lot of people think, I'll just clean it with bleach. Bleach will get the mold off and everything.
Bleach will kill all that algae. Yeah,
but it kills the birds too.
It can be devastating. If you have hummingbird feeders, we don't use soap and water. We use hot water and vinegar.
That's it.
And that's it. And rinse thoroughly and done. just those kind of things. So watching, making sure your area is doing what you can, because you want to be out in your yard. You want to be able to enjoy your gardens and things like that. So, barbecue season, we're in it.
You talk about mosquitoes and stuff. Is there anything that I can buy, say, over the counter, that I can put on my yard that'll help with the two things that are the worst in Florida during the summer?
Fire ants?
No, fire ants I can deal with. I know I got 7 dogs. I can deal. Two things I can't deal with because I have 5 pets. Mm-hmm. I can't deal with mosquitoes because in the morning when I go to walk them at the dusk and dawn and dusk is when the mosquitoes are most active. So I have to worry about mosquitoes, and I have to worry about, right now, it's so wet, it's not that big a deal. Right. But the dreaded flea. Yeah. Is there stuff I can buy that I can hook to my water hose or whatever?
There's the lawn pest control kind of stuff that you can buy over the counter. They will knock out mosquitoes. They will knock out fleas. Big issue we have right now is because if we're getting rain every day, the effectiveness begins to isn't real effective. We don't want to put it down when we know we're going to get rain in 24 hours.
Which means the entire month of June and July.
July, August, September. So it makes it a little bit harder to try to do something like that. Again, though, kind of keeping the grass mowed, things cleaned up.
Luckily,
some of the mosquitoes that we have in the yard are like the blind mosquitoes that don't bite.
No-see-ums.
No-see-ums.
They'll bite
you. There's not much that takes care of them either.
No.
Just going through, making sure you have good air circulation through the yard. If you're trying to sit on a patio, one of the easiest ways to be able to
screen it in
and put a fan on.
Exactly.
Put a fan on.
Yeah, because
they actually make outdoor fans.
We have ceiling fans on our back patio.
Okay. Yeah.
And they run, and the air moves constantly.
Enough air movement will help to keep.
We don't have a bug issue.
If you're sitting out, you're going to have a cookout. You're going to picnic out. Your citronella candles. My best way to use citronella is not to put it on top of the table, but where do they bite you?
On your ankles.
Put them under the table.
Yeah.
And that way the scent comes up under the table. The table holds it down, keeps it from blowing away. So it keeps it within.
Well, people always go with the tiki torches, and here's what I like to do. Here's something I learned from living on Cowpen Lake over in Hawthorne, which when you live on a lake, mosquitoes are something you learn.
Problem, yeah.
We would go, we had an acre yard, and we would go every 30 feet or so, 30, 40 feet, and put a torch.
Okay, yeah.
In whatever area we wanted to torch in.
You were gonna,
But in between each torch, we put a citronella bucket on the ground.
Okay. So you had lots of light, and no mosquitoes.
And no, because you had the barrier that came from the ground and
the one above.
And it was, and people say, well, citronella, a bottle of citronella is cheap. The torches you can get.
I mean,
the torches you can get.
For evening. It's your Friday night, your Saturday night, whatever. It's well worth it. Yeah, and of course your repellents that you can spray on long sleeves,
I saw a funny meme yesterday though. It says, if you're worried about mosquitoes, just spray and it had a repellent, and it's the big name brand repellent with the 2 consonants after a vowel.
Uh-huh.
And it said, spray on this repellent. And then it goes, mosquitoes in Florida be like, and it had a mosquito with a straw, and he had it stuck into the repellent, drinking it. Like mosquitoes in Florida be like, go ahead and spray that. We really like that.
But that one chemical, the DEET, which is the chemical, really does work.
Skin So Soft works, believe it or not.
Skin So Soft, you gotta use the old formulation, but yes, it does work. And Skin So Soft's the only one that works for no-see-ums.
Right.
So if you're going over the Crystal River area, Yankeetown, something like that to go fishing, you better have your Skin So
Soft. If you go into the Muni to play golf, you better have it because you'll drive right through no-see-ums and not even realize it. They just, wow.
Yeah. But those kind of things, just to protect yourself, wear your sunscreen. Even when it's overcast, like you said, it's still, your UV is there, so,
you'll burn quick in this kind of weather because you don't think you're
realize it's hot. I mean, you don't realize the sun is on you. But
what other pests right now? Because we all know it's a little wet, so fleas aren't as bad because as it dries out, fleas get worse.
Right.
Mosquitoes, water, fleas like dry, so
the
fleas aren't near as bad. But what other pests right now are enjoying this kind of weather that you may see in your gardens or your flower
You're
beds?
going to see the fire ant mounds pop up because they'll actually come up. You'll
They
mow the
love
grass.
it.
You'll mow the grass in the morning. By afternoon, you'll find your mounds, which makes it easy to treat them.
There it is.
And you can go through and a 2-prong if you've actually got some serious fire ant issues, and you have to do this before you're going to have a weekend event.
Uh-huh.
You got to do this several days before. Is do the whole yard treatment for the fire ants, and then come back at the same time, treat your mounds.
You want a life hack for fire ants?
What's that?
You can take white rice, put it in a food processor, and grind it up. I know it's always been an urban legend about the white rice, but if you make it small enough that it can be, everybody goes and puts a whole grain white rice out there. It doesn't work.
Well, they do grits too, and that doesn't actually work.
Well, grits aren't.
Yeah.
To me, I put it on different
Right.
mounds, and when I lived in
Right.
Hawthorne, mound
I think
mound goes
mostly
away.
it's probably they don't like the disruption.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, more
I
than
don't know.
likely, and they just
It worked.
move. Yeah,
It
and
worked.
even a lot of times everybody says, "Well, I put the poison on there and they just move." Well, yeah, there's multiple queens under there.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
When you dig into one time, because I heard that for every inch above the ground, it's a foot in the ground at the fire ant thing.
Yeah.
And so one time I had a fire ant mound that was about 2 inches deep. I go, well, I'm going to see if it's 2 foot deep in the ground.
It was further than that.
It was about 4 feet in the ground.
As a
And
child,
had like little ruts and all.
Oh yeah,
And there were probably, when I finally found most of the when the queens flew out,
yeah.
there were probably
Oh, yeah.
45,
and
50
they
of
will,
them at least.
And they will make a new queen promptly.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long to turn one into.
Somebody
a queen.
goes, well, if I step in a fire ant plant with good shoes on, it disrupts them, and they leave my yard. No, they don't. They just move
They
somewhere
just
else in
move
your
over.
yard.
Yeah, they just move over where you can't see them initially.
Matt Gibbs, who with Sunrise Auto, he probably champions. You get some old crude oil, just pour it right there on top of the mound. And take. My dad used to put gasoline on them and throw a match.
Yeah. Explode the yard. I think we've all seen that video on that.
My dad went, here's how you deal with fire ants: fire.
Fire. We've actually poured, make a pot of boiled peanuts and pour the boiling salt water.
Probably doesn't help them. They probably don't like that a whole lot.
They don't like that a whole lot, but I wouldn't suggest that in the yard because the hot
the
water
salt
and the
will
salt
kill
is going to
everything.
kill the grass. But if it's in something like ours was in like the edge of the fire pit,
Oh yeah.
just pour it down in there. It's all right.
Yeah,
It works.
Look, and where I'm at
helps.
now, because we're right next to a cow pasture and
And-
retention
and-
pond. Fire ants or something in the back of my backyard. We have to treat for fire ants every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Because
Yeah.
it just with
And
the,
they- and
with the
pets,
rain
and
and
with
everything.
Pets, they're
and-
gonna, they're a problem to our pets just as well. And your retention pond too. If it's one that actually holds water, you might consider some of the mosquito dunks.
well, the
They're a
county
BT
the county
do
luckily
treat-
comes in and treats that retention pond.
right for
Because
mosquitoes.
I think that there used to be a neighbor who would ding the county on a regular
Got
basis
you,
about the
and
retention
go,
ponds.
Hey, there's mosquitoes and the
And
grass
so-
is too high. Yeah.
Yeah, so they come regularly,
maintain that now,
and they
yeah.
maintain the 2 retention ponds there. They keep them cut well. They
But,
come
yeah.
in when it rains, and you see them out there with a spray bottle, and
Yeah, they're taking care of stuff.
Yeah.
Taking care of stuff. Yeah, and they should.
which I'm okay with.
Yeah, and they should.
I'm okay with. So, 622-9622. You got about a minute to go to get in with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. The original question, though, Carol Ann,
What?
if your tomatoes have stretch
cracks
marks,
and stretch marks.
don't worry about it.
It's the rain. Pick them maybe a little earlier. They will ripen on the windowsill. If you get a little blush of pink to them, that is actually considered a vine ripened tomato. And you can finish ripening them on the windowsill. It helps to prevent that splitting from occurring. But we can't control that.
yeah,
I mean, you put a little umbrella.
yeah.
You get the little
We're
beach
not,
umbrella.
we're not,
put
in
over.
we're not in charge of the water control. We're not in
Water
control of
control.
the water now.
Not now.
Yeah.
When we were in drought, we were. And with the excess water, watch for your mosquitoes. And like I said, the BT type products.
And my neighbor that lives 3 doors down to the right of me, shut your sprinklers off at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, just shut your sprinklers
Just
off.
shut 'em off.
Just shut them off. Turn them off. Your sensor's not working.
Carolyn, how can they find you?
They can find me at the In the Garden Facebook group page on Facebook, obviously, and down there at my
All you gotta do is ask to become a member, and she
And I will
usually lets you in.
bring you on board.
Don't be a jack while you. Carolyn Baldwin, Master Gardener. Thanks so much, Carolyn. Talk to you next week. We'll be right back at this timeout with Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto. You listen to WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
The plants that can take a lot of heat and still bloom through a dry spell. That's coming up
USA
on
Radio
This Land of
News
Ours.
with Lance Pride.
Iran's president-elect has rejected the possibility of meeting with President Biden. Abraham Rahisi added that the United States is obligated to lift all oppressive sanctions against Iran. President Biden's State Department called Iran's elections anything but fair.
Our Iran policy is designed to advance U.S. interests, and that is regardless of who is chosen as Iran's president in a process that we consider to be pre-manufactured. This was not a free and fair election process.
State Department spokesperson Ned Price. Laptop emails reportedly implicate Hunter Biden and the Washington, D.C. firm Blue Star under federal investigation for illegally lobbying on behalf of the Ukrainian company that counted Biden as a board member. The Department of Justice is investigating. USA Radio News.
Hello, this is Wayne Alaroot for our newest sponsor, Asset Strategies, or ASI for short. ASI is a precious metals powerhouse. They sell gold and silver. Never in history has there been a more important moment to buy gold and silver. ASI has been in business for 39 years. They've served over 20,000 clients and sold $5 billion worth of gold, silver, and precious metals with zero complaints. Last year, gold saw gains of 25%. Silver nearly doubled gold's performance. Now Democrats are in charge. Green New Deal, open borders, free healthcare for illegals, bailout broke cities and states. The debt is about to go through the stratosphere. The time to buy is now. The owners of ASI, Michael and Rich Chekin, have been my close personal friends for 16 years. ASI is the company I trust when it comes to buying and selling precious metals. Call now to receive a free consultation and a free 1-ounce silver eagle with every qualifying purchase when you mention the Wayne Alaroot Show. Call 800-831-0007. That's 800-831-0007 or visit assetstrategies.com.
The Biden administration.
The plants that can take a lot of heat and still bloom through a dry spell. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Great news, Florida farmers. The Florida legislature has passed hemp legislation allowing hemp to be grown. The alternative crop of the future is coming soon to Florida. With more than 25,000 different uses, hemp is the less water, less fertilizer, cover crop you've been waiting for. I'm Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Freed. Learn the facts about growing hemp at freshfromflorida.com today. That's freshfromflorida.com.
It's a new day. Thanks to the Farm Bill, USDA's conservation programs encourage, even reward, farmers who are willing to make a commitment to conservation. There are voluntary programs which provide technical assistance, cost share, land rental, and incentive payments. Conservation, there's something in it for you. Call or visit your local USDA Service Center. Brought to you by the Natural Resources Conservation Service.
When summer heat kicks in, it's good to know you can rely on a number of drought-resistant flowering plants to hold their own and still produce beautiful blooms and foliage. Yarrow is one of them. The plant comes in a number of varieties with yellow, orange, red, pink, or white blooms and tolerates heat like a champ. It's also a great cut flower. Blanket flower is a tough prairie plant that blooms all summer and into fall. Bush sage, with its raspberry red colored flowers, is one of the toughest and drought-tolerant perennials. And it attracts hummingbirds. There's one drought-tolerant plant that has it all, and that's lavender. It looks beautiful and is tough as nails. Enjoy the blue, lavender, purple, or white flowers in summer, and you can even pick some for drying and using in crafts. Lamb's ears, globe thistle, and purple coneflower are other choices that are resilient and heat-tolerant in the summer. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with thunderstorm or two this afternoon and a high of 90 to 94. Clouds breaking tonight with a couple of thunderstorms late, low 73 to 76. Then cloudy on Wednesday with a thunderstorm in the afternoon and a high of 87 to 89. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Thursday as well, 84 to 88 is a high. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holden.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
That's right. It's Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto Repair with personal care. Matt, good morning.
Good morning, Tom.
I was just, I always get, you're like my Fraser Crane of automotives. I'm doing a radio talk show with you, and I come in and I go, hey, Matt, while I got you here, I need free advice, and I don't even come to your shop and pay you. I just get free advice here.
Yep, you get free. So does everybody else.
622-9622 is the number to call if you want to talk to Matt Gibbs. So, what's going on with you in the world, pal?
Oh, my gosh, dude, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
And no sun out, so in your shop, I know a lot of times y'all work inside and outside.
Yep.
But with this rain, you're probably all crammed in the shop.
We crammed inside.
But you're expanding. I know you're expanding.
We got our expansion. They allowed. Listen to this. They allowed me to pay for my permits.
Oh, there you go.
So I guess that's a good thing.
Well, if you were able to pay for the permits,
I might get them one day.
You might get them one day.
I might.
Then you can start construction.
Then we could. I've got everything.
And then once
there.
you get construction done, then Tyrone comes out and looks at everything.
God, and Tyrone, he comes out all the time.
So how big is the expansion you're going into?
It's going to be 40 feet wide by 30 feet deep.
It's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Well, that give you 2 more bays, 3 more bays?
We can put 4 of the medium-duty trucks in this area. That's what I'm doing it for, to get the trucks out of the main shop and get them in the back. And this way it'll be easy to pull them in, service them, pull them out.
When are you going to build one of those big old warehouses so you can start working on RVs? Come on.
No, I don't think that's happening.
I have a good friend of mine that's in the same business you're in, automotive, and well respected around the area. And he's went away from working on cars as much and working on just RVs. But if you got that niche.
Well, that's kind of like that's what we do on these
medium trucks.
Because these are not like commercial vehicles. They're all privately owned,
custom medium duty trucks,
skin, sport chassis that
34 1250s up underneath them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you? I do when I'm driving down the road, because at one time in my life, when I was in my 20s, I had a Ford F-250 that I put a 6-inch lift kit on, and I put 34 1250s up underneath it, the big angry knobby tires and everything. And then I would do the stupid thing and drive it down the road. And so I would eat these tires that were at that time $200 a piece. This was 30 years ago. They're probably $700-800 a piece now. I would tear them up on the road. So when I see, and they got to be 20-somethings, can't be anybody with any sense. But when I see, and if you don't like that, send all stuff to Tom at WOCA.com, because if you're under the age of 40, you probably are just dumb. But anyway, so these tires, I see them going down the road, and they're doing, especially the interstate, they're doing 75, 80 miles an hour past me on the interstate with these mud tires, and I'm thinking, do you realize how you're destroying, what money you're just throwing out the window?
It's crazy too. You can't even hear yourself think. Oh my!
You can't.
Goodness.
There's no way it's quiet inside the truck.
No.
And I mean, but you like those people because they keep buying tires.
They keep buying tires, and they keep Here's the deal. So that was like kind of my generation, the big jacked up.
Yeah, me and you exactly.
Yeah, and then we had those guys.
I had a buddy of mine had a jacked up Vet.
Yeah.
Jacked up El Camino.
Yeah, everything was jacked up. And now we got these guys that have these little Hondas and all these little Japanese cars.
What's with the sideway tire? I saw a Nissan.
Kits.
Yeah, the tires were the bottom of the tires were sticking out about 4 inches farther at an angle. How's that car even ride?
It rides. Actually, they actually do pretty good. I mean, it's amazing.
How do they not eat tires up though?
It kind of. Okay, so there's actually I do some stuff for somebody here in town, and they have horse-driven carriages.
Right.
And a lot of the tires on the horse-driven carriages are the cambers set up
really?
Like on the horse-driven carriages. Now some of Joey's wheelchairs, like the basketball chairs and stuff like that.
They're cambered.
His racer that he races in is cambered. So it's amazing to watch the different technology and the different thought processes of this next generation. What they think is cool, like we thought jacked up trucks was cool,
Then we had the generation behind us that would cut the leaf springs to put a truck down as a low rider, and I'm like, why would you ruin a truck by putting it on the ground? It just made no sense to me.
Hey, every generation
got something. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Hugh.
Say, a question. Are you talking about tires and stuff? Now, a regular car, or let's say a NASCAR racing car, has 5 lug nuts, right? Yeah. And Indy cars only have one, should we call it one big lug nut in the center? Why doesn't NASCAR or stock cars have that kind of a setup?
Well, I think the NASCAR still try to keep to the composure of the car that we get to drive on the street every day, where you're not going to drive a Formula One car on the street every day.
But the NASCAR, I know what Hugh's saying though. The Toyota Camry, the Chevrolet, whatever they're using now for NASCAR,
Camaro,
and the Ford, whatever they're
Mustangs.
using. None of them look like the Mustang, Camry, or Chevrolet that they're representing.
No, they really don't.
They all look exactly the same.
But they're supposed to have that, hey, I could drive this car. You can go buy you one of these. It's got 5 lug nuts.
A Camry ain't near as big as a NASCAR.
No, but the other thing is too is for me personally, I love what goes on pit road almost as much as I like seeing what goes on the track.
Hugh, you got another question for Matt?
No, just real quickly. It's amazing how fast the race cars can change a tire. With just zipping that way they're gone. It's I always kind of thought it'd be kind of neat that stock cars could get away with that too. But I would imagine it'd be as safe as having 5 lug nuts as having one big one or whatever they call it.
Well, thanks for the call, Hugh. I do know this, that the IndyCar can come in and out of the pits in about 10 seconds. Yeah. NASCAR's at 12. So the lug nuts aren't causing that much of an issue. And people don't realize, it's not like you and I where the lug nut's in your hand, you screw it on, and you hit it. They're glue tacked or welded tacked on there.
Yeah, they're glued on.
They're glued on. Yeah. So where then they just throw it on there and then zit, 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 zit.
Yep.
And the guy throwing the tires is usually an ex-football player or weightlifter or something. So he's carrying those 2 tires like they're nothing. Yeah. And the jack guy is able to one push and that car's up on the jack. Yeah. So look, I've been to NASCAR pit school. I've seen how they do it. And these guys train when the pit crew that comes over the wall of the NASCAR race, the first time the race car driver sees them at a race is the morning of the race, because the 6 days leading up to that race, they're training all day, every day, 8-10 hours a day, just going zit, 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 zit. And they fly in Saturday night and they get a good night's rest, and then they're there Sunday morning. The people working on the car in the garage and everything aren't the 6 guys that go over the wall during the race.
That's right. And it's amazing what them guys can do. They're athletes. And
100%.
And I'm going to tell you, the guy driving the car?
Athlete.
The
average weight loss to a NASCAR driver on a weekly basis is 10 to 14 pounds.
So I need to, let's see, if I could get in about 6 consecutive races every day.
Yeah, the problem but after the race was over and all that water and all was gone, you'd lose the 30 pounds. Yeah. Then you and I'd go back and say, well, that deserves a steak. Time to go back. That deserves some baked potato with some gravy. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I'm just going to sit here and just, I'm not going to argue with you.
But going back to tires, I mean, it's just got to, it just drives me crazy when I see people driving by with them big knobby tires. I'm going, you're just roll your window down and throw $5 bills out the window.
But that's what they want. That's what they want to spend their money on. And we sure do appreciate it.
But you also have people who will come in. I'm sure you have those people that come in religiously and say, hey, it's been 6 months since I had this done.
Yep.
Hey, it's been a year since, and it may not need to be done, but they're like, says in my book, 6 months. Yep. You have those customers too, don't you?
Yes, sir. It's funny too because it's like Jeep people. Like you got the Jeep Wranglers. So you got the Jeep Wrangler people that will go out there and they will climb Mount Everest with their Jeep.
Yes.
And you got Jeep people that if a piece of dirt gets on their Jeep, they're freaking out.
They're freaking out. I know people that'll wrap their Jeeps and everything, and if it gets the smallest amount of dirt on it, oh God, my wrap's got dirt on it now.
I know, and then there's another group that's just like, oh, let's
and
go with it.
I know groups that are truck enthusiast groups that put those tires on their trucks and everything, and they get the nice paint jobs with the lights underneath them. Ain't never been the closest mud they've been near is if it rains hard and some dirt runs off into a ditch into the road while they're driving. That's the closest mud they've been to.
That's it.
Good morning, you're on with Matt Gibbs.
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Sonny.
I'm curious with the stuff of the development of automobiles. They're talking now fancy batteries that you can charge 80% in like minutes. Used to be an hour or so. But what I think everybody forgets, when you have these very fast chargers, they suck up electricity like there's no tomorrow. And you need, like if you have your car in a garage, you need a specially dedicated line just for the charger so you can charge these cars. And I don't know, there may be a commercial application because like UPS or something like that where the trucks only run maybe 10, 12 hours a day. But other than that, for regular vehicles, I just don't see how they can do it because, you can get charging stations all over now. We're getting there. But what happens, you put a quick charge on it. I don't know how much that would cost, but a regular charging is usually overnight. And the quick charge doesn't last as long as a regular charge. That's the other thing. I was just wondering if you had learned any more about it. I'll hang up and listen.
Thanks for the call, Sonny.
Yeah.
He asked a good question, Matt, because they say all these car companies say by 2035, some of them by 2032, they're going to all electric. You see now Ford came out with all electric truck. There's all electric SUVs that are being touted 2022, 2023. But I can fill a gas tank up in 3 minutes from empty to full, 20 gallons. So they need to make something comparable electricity-wise.
They're going to have to. They know that. They're not stupid. They know See, we're the ones that dictate what they can and cannot do or will not do, right? So when all the manufacturers saw that women were buying as many trucks as men, well, then they started changing.
Putting creature comforts in trucks.
Man, absolutely. And I thank you, women, because my Tahoe is loaded up and nice, and I appreciate all the amenities. And it's because they want to meet the needs of the people. So this is going to be a huge, and everybody's talking about it, everybody's discussing it, and so this is going to be a huge thing. Me and my wife, we just went on a little trip, just like the last couple weekends ago, and it was this last weekend, we were heading to Busch Gardens. We took our grandson to Busch Gardens, and on I-75, I saw a few Teslas.
Right.
And this one's from Tennessee. This one was from North Carolina.
They had to charge somewhere.
So they had to make it from Tennessee and North Carolina to Florida.
Right.
So there is a way.
And they can go, the last time I looked, they can go about 430 miles, 450 miles on the charge. Which is about a full tank of gas.
Right.
For most people if you're traveling down the highway. So, but I can pull into the service station and gas up. Teslas takes about 2 hours to get a full charge at one of these charging stations. So, that puts a damper on how I can travel in the Tesla.
Absolutely. But everybody knows that.
I'm the guy that if I could get away with it, everybody in my vehicle would have a 2-liter bottle. We ain't stopping. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm not in charge. Susan is, so I can't. But
I can't do that.
But
anyway.
it's gonna be. But I think people have this feeling that as soon as we go all electric, gas pumps are going to disappear.
No,
that ain't going to happen. Just like let me give you this analogy. When the fueled car came out, the combustible engine came out, it took 15, 20, 25 years for the cars to get enough gas stations and everything, and for hitching posts to disappear. Because people still, even when the first 20, 25 years of combustible automobiles, horses still were a mode of transportation too.
Right, that's right.
So horses, the day that Ford decided to create the assembly line and make the Model T on an assembly line, people didn't stop riding horses as mode of transportation.
That's right.
People aren't going to stop riding gas-powered cars just because there's electric cars out there.
Right, that's right. I mean, I'm looking at just what's happening in Marion County. There's a Wawa racetrack, 7-Eleven.
We're building them, yeah.
I mean,
we ain't building charging stations. We're building gasoline stations.
Okay, and I'm thinking that everybody in the next 10 years is going to stop doing this. Wow, what do we think? What is I don't understand.
You don't put those kind of fuel cells in the ground with all the EPA indications and everything if it ain't going to be there for a while.
And I'm thinking, $4 million for a Wawa?
Yeah.
$4.5 million?
I mean, I only know one area there's charging stations in this entire town. 2 areas. There's a charging station downtown near City Hall, and there's a charging station out at where Dick's Sporting Goods and everything is. I don't know of any other charging areas.
Actually, there's a charging station right across the street from Sunrise Automotive.
Is there?
Yep.
Huh.
Right. There's one right across the street from me.
And do you pay by the? I don't understand how you charge. Do you have to pay for that charge? Somebody's got to pay for that charge.
I think what we do is maybe in the next couple of weeks I'm gonna go across the street. It's called Electrified. That's the name of the company. I think they're an authorized Tesla repair facility. I'm gonna go over there and talk. They came over and met me, and we chatted for a few minutes. I need to go over there and just kind of talk to them, and maybe
bring him with you one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring him the next couple of weeks because there's so many questions that people are asking about the electric cars.
I mean, we've had the electric technology for years.
Yes.
It's called golf carts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know, and a golf cart. I was a member and a board member at Keystone Heights Golf Country Club. We had all electric carts. Those carts would run 36 holes, maybe 37, 38, but not any more than that. So that was two rounds of golf, and then you had to recharge them. It took all night to recharge them because it was a trickle. It's a trickle charge.
Right.
But you got 6 batteries you got to recharge.
Right.
I mean, I know that the Prius, the batteries recharge when the motor kicks in. But all these companies say these electric. There's got to be a way that the rotation of the tires can charge batteries. I would think that technology's got to come.
It's got to come. Yeah, it's got to come. There's going to be a need, and everybody's like, it's almost like an uncertainty, and uncertainty means a lot of times for folks it's fear. That's really what it boils down to, man. They take away my gas-powered Tahoe. What am I going to do?
Yeah. Well, remember, people originally thought, and I because of my history background, I know this to be fact. When Benz first created the combustible car, Benz created the first combustible car, gasoline, fuel-powered car. When Benz did it, people go, hold on, you mean you're causing a flammable explosion in this motor every few seconds to keep this motor going, and it's not going to blow up when I'm driving it and I'm not going to die? I mean, but that was because people didn't understand combustion engines at the time. All they knew was he was telling them the fuel goes in here, it catches fire, it explodes, and it moves the gears. Hold on. You're going to have gasoline exploding inside that motor, and it's not going to blow that motor up. I mean, that was real concern. You could go back and read newspaper columns and all from Europe and the United States where people are like, you're an idiot. If you're making a small explosion inside that motor, what's to stop a big explosion from happening?
It's like when I years ago, back in 2000, I got involved in alternative fuels, and I got involved with propane, CNG.
Right.
and so people think propane. Oh my God, that's so man. Gasoline is
100% more dangerous than propane.
Dangerous than propane.
Remember, I know that propane's safe because I know Hank Hill. He sells propane accessories. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs. Oh, well, they hung up on us, Matt.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Guess they didn't want to talk to us near as much as they did.
That's all right.
I thought it might have been Jim calling to correct my history or something. He does that every now and then. Yeah, Jim will call and correct my history every now and then. But people are scared of change. They don't understand. They don't like things they don't understand. And we don't understand batteries right now.
Nope.
We know that the last powerful battery, I know that the last time there was a new powerful battery on the market, it was in cell phones that blew up the cell phone while it was in your pocket and got banned from airlines. Okay? I know that. That lithium battery that was in the Note 7 blew up and caught your pants on fire and stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people are worried about, you got to have a very powerful battery to run these cars. Is that battery going to explode?
Well,
and if you've ever seen a regular battery explode,
I have.
They shoot up like a rocket.
Oh, let me tell you, I have, and that was a scary deal.
It is very scary, and that's a conventional battery that we've been using for decades.
For decades, and here's so in the world of batteries, a lot of our tools, a lot of our hand tools.
Ion lithium batteries.
Well, we've got, and I remember when they first come out. You know, there was a 1/2-inch gun. You took two arms and a small child to carry.
And it would screw in 2 screws, and then you had to recharge it.
And you had to go. That's right. And now
they got ones that'll cut your grass. That the battery's powerful enough to cut your grass with a mower.
Dude, there's a riding one at
Lowe's exactly right now.
Yeah.
It's a ride mower powered by batteries.
That's it.
There's leaf blowers now that are more powerful than a backpack gas-powered leaf blower run by a battery.
I'm because it's been great. I bought all the Lowe's, the Cobalt. I got the blower. I got the edger. I got the pole saw.
You can get a skill saw now it'll cut plywood, 2x4s. You can use it out on the job site. That's run by batteries. No longer do you got to run that extension cord, worried about cutting that extension cord and electrocuting yourself.
You know, I had this 100-foot electric that I used for electric hedgers.
Cut right through it, didn't you?
Dude, it's about 10 feet long now.
Exactly. But so the battery technology's come a long way.
It has come a long way.
But are we ready for all electric vehicles?
They're going to make it. They're going to have to make it. They're going to have to do it because people are not going to buy it if they're going to be inconvenienced. They're not going to have it.
The way to do it, if you ask me, is use the centrifugal force of the car moving.
That's exactly.
It's got to be some way batteries can. I know that if you take a bicycle and you hook it, they've done experiments where you pedal a bicycle, it can recharge your battery from the bicycle tire spinning from the centrifugal force. That's how they're going to. But then how do you make money? Because now the fuel business goes away. How's money made?
Well, that's going to be the $64,000 question because at the end of the day, no matter what we're doing, you got to follow the money because it's all.
And believe me, the energy business, the oil business, I don't care what they say they're going to electric, it's still huge business.
When I was in the gas business, and this was almost 30 years ago. Back 30 years ago, 1 gallon of gas, 54 cents for every dollar. Or for every gallon of gas, 54 cents was tax.
Right. How are we going to lose that tax revenue?
They're not going to lose that tax revenue.
Which is why I'm amazed that the Democratic Party is the one pushing for all these electric vehicles because they're the party of taxing.
Well, that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. They're going to tax the car so high.
So they're going to tell you the average American spends X amount of dollars in taxes through their gas tax, right?
Well, we're not going to charge you that anymore. We're just going to charge it when you buy the car or when you buy the batteries.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're still going to get it.
Or whenever you get a paycheck.
They're still going to get it.
They're going to get the money.
They've been getting it for the better part of 100 years. Taxes work as fast in our family classes as they were once. We learned wars were expensive. Yeah, well, that's a good way to end, Matt. Where can they find you? Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Auto Repair with Personal Care. Talk to you next week, man.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
The plants that can take a lot of heat and...
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Iran's president-elect has rejected the possibility of meeting with President Biden. Abraham Rahisi added that the United States is obligated to lift all oppressive sanctions against Iran. President Biden's State Department called Iran's elections anything but fair.
Our Iran policy is designed to advance U.S. interests, and that is regardless of who is chosen as Iran's president in a process that we consider to be pre-manufactured. This was not a free and fair election process.
State Department spokesperson Ned Price. Laptop emails reportedly implicate Hunter Biden and the Washington, D.C. firm Blue Star under federal investigation for illegally lobbying on behalf of the Ukrainian company that counted Biden as a board member. The Department of Justice is investigating. USA Radio News.
Yes, the pandemic is coming to an end. Restrictions are coming to an end. But body aches and pains never seem to end. That's why you need to click sunny-bay.com for the best sleep you can get. Sunny Bay's legendary products can help, like our lavender stress-reducing products, locally sourced and handmade in the USA. Or try Sunny Bay's award-winning pillows for traveling or extra neck support while sleeping. No need for pills or expensive chiropractic visits. Our neck support pillows are that good. Sunny Bay is a homegrown small business, but our products are designed and rigorously tested based on your demand and feedback. And they make great gifts for mom, dad, or anyone. Find Sunny Bay products on Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, or at sunny-bay.com. And right now, get free heat patches and a belt with any purchase. So remember, Sunny Bay heating pads, neck pillows, and stress-relieving hot or cold wraps as restrictions come to an end and you get back to work. Do it the healthy way with Sunny Bay.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, I'm Lori.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
We are
the American Moms.
Join us Monday through Friday,
10:30 to 11 a.m.
on WOCA Radio,
96.3 FM,
and 1370 AM, The Source. So that wasn't so bad, was it? See, you're gonna like radio. It's a lot of fun. And you have to talk. I can't, you have to respond. Just respond to me.
American Moms is brought to you by Stanfield Chiropractic.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Fridays at 9 a.m., WOCA and the Early Learning Coalitions of Marion County will share information on the coalition, what it does, voluntary pre-kindergarten, and more. Roseanne Fricks, Chief Executive Officer, and Elizabeth Yola, Chief Program Officer, will be guests. A bright future starts with preparation now. Knowledge is power, and good beginnings equal great endings. We all benefit from the greatness, so be sure to tune in each Friday at 9 a.m. for early learning right here on The Source.
She's got about 37,314 irons in the fire.
We talked about that this morning. She's like, I'm coming in hot, but I'm coming. So I'm feeling it myself.
But as a mom,
yesterday, it was hard.
don't all moms have 333,416 irons in the fire?
I know moms who tennis, who lunch idle. I'm not that mom. I went home yesterday with my kid who actively peed all over the countertop in the kitchen as I'm trying to do my work, and I just had piles and stacks of mail going through it, and everything, of course, needs to be dealt with immediately. And so I ended up not making dinner. So that to me is a momming fail, because I do believe my children deserve me to make them a warm, at least, dinner every night. Fresh dinner with all those beautiful vegetables that I have delivered every week that we don't eat. So you want to hear something funny? So here's my life in a nutshell. I order from this thing. It's called, what is it called? Misfit Market. It's great. So they're all organic. They're vegetables and fruits that have sometimes they have a little blemish or something, but they really don't. So that's just, I think it was just like a marketing thing. So anyway, but I get it religiously every week. And every week I have vegetables and fruits that are going to go to waste, because my kids don't want to eat fruits and vegetables. They want to eat gluten-free Oreos and garbage. So, but I'm still going to truck on and keep ordering this stuff. So now, here's what I'm doing. In order to be able to use the vegetables and the fruits that are so beautiful, costing me half of a fortune, I have also ordered 8 chickens. So the chickens will be delivered, 1-day-old chicks, on I think the beginning of August. So now I have someone to eat my fruits and vegetables, because my children won't, and I can't not order them, because that would make me a bad mom in my head. Y'all have to understand, not everything that I think is rational, but for some reason I equate purchasing the healthy foods to my children actually eating them, even though it's not happening. But my chickens are going to be really healthy. How do you like that?
My question is...
Yeah, give it.
Are you just using the fruits and vegetables as an excuse to have chickens?
A little bit, probably. I have had chickens in the past.
Yes, Lori has as well.
Yes, she had. That's right. I was her dealer. So at one time I had 40 chickens in my very small backyard.
I went to Lori's house when she was living over just outside the historic district.
Yes. Yeah.
It really wasn't the historic district. It was just outside the house. She had the nice atrium and everything.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And she had free-range chickens right there in the city.
She sure did. I think she got somebody reported it and didn't really like her chickens. But now we have an ordinance that says you can.
The ordinance says you can have them.
It does. So I think it says you can have 6. And anyone who knows anything about chickens knows, number one, you have to have more than a couple.
Because they're going to die.
And then you have to order a couple extra, because you never know when they get there. Usually one of them's a little wonky and doesn't make it.
Now, what's the probative value of eggs from these chickens?
So I prefer giant chickens. I like Cochins and Brahmas. I prefer Cochins, but Brahmas are great too. They are not prolific layers. I'll get 3 medium-sized eggs a week. Yeah. Well, per chicken, but that's plenty.
Oh,
that's
per chicken.
Per chicken.
And
Sorry.
you got 8. You have 6. You'll have 6.
Well,
so
6 to 8, and you know what?
That's still 8. That's still 18. That's a dozen and a half eggs.
Yeah,
week.
We'll be okay.
Yeah,
we'll be okay. And Asher really liked the chickens. The issue was that Asher also loved to bathe in the chicken poo, and so we're gonna have to figure out a way to keep him from bathing in chicken poo. He's older now. I'm hoping he's outgrown it. I'm doubting it, but I'm hoping. We're just gonna.
I mean, he did pee all over the kitchen counters yesterday.
He did. He sure did. I'm so over it.
I hope traffic is not snarled so bad, Lori's.
I hope not.
Because she is not liking the traffic in Ocala these days.
No, it's getting really bad.
And how does that affect you as a mom? Or is it something now because it's getting really bad that you're going to have to plan? It's something you have to think about for mom lines and everything for school coming up?
Yeah, school year is coming up pretty quick. And I can tell you already, I was late to pick Asher up yesterday from summer school because the traffic was so bad. How is that? It's the summertime. We should have no traffic at all at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on a Monday. It was a Monday.
Monday.
She is.
Yeah, there she is. But that's real mom problems is traffic because of mom lines, because of car lines and everything. And by the way, if you're a dad, you're off at that time, you should go get in the car line. Not require mom to do it.
My husband does on a Wednesday. He'll go for me.
Joe Stanfield Chiropractic?
Yeah, that one. That very one.
It's a good man.
We talked about the fact that I have too many fresh vegetables and fruits left over because my kids won't really eat them, but I can't stop buying them. So I ordered chickens to eat my fresh vegetables and fruits. So I'm back on the chicken truck.
You're getting chickens?
I'm getting chickens.
Oh, I know where I'm spending happy hour every night watching the chickens.
They're the best things to watch. They're
best.
therapeutic.
So good.
I know this is your show and all, but I would
have
like
at
to
it,
say, I would love, and I'm using the word love here, love.
Some fresh eggs.
Because I know where Lori lives.
And have an adult beverage.
I know where Lori lives. I would
you wanna bring the
love
chickens over to Lori's
for Lori
house?
to have chickens at her house
Yeah.
now.
You would love that.
I'm guessing that's not an option.
I
That's not an
personally would love it. I would get a bag of popcorn and set up with a
back
chair.
and watch the chicken fireworks. Yeah,
Not gonna happen.
So
I keep after her enough. I can talk her into it.
you really could. Number one, you could put a large bird cage on your back. And then you could get a chicken tractor and just move it around.
It's not happening, people.
No.
Well, I'm going to have
Bats.
enough for you. She does
She
have
has bats.
I don't need chickens.
That's almost a chicken. It's like a flying.
She's raising bats. Why does she need
I'm not
chicken?
raising
Not a
bats.
flying chicken, but
I have
I'm
bats in
trying
the
here.
belfry now because they will make you crazy.
Have you
Don't
named
get
them?
eggs.
Have they become your pets?
They have been extricated. They have not successfully re-infiltrated my home, but there are several nights at 3 a.m. you will find me with my ear against the wall, listening very carefully.
You have PTSD, don't you?
I do.
Post-traumatic bat stress disorder.
100%.
PTBSD.
But that's another thing you moms worry about that guys don't worry. We don't worry about fire
invaders.
ants in the yard. We don't worry about invaders in the house. None of that.
Roaches, I hate. I know everybody hates roaches. I have an unusual reaction. I faint and I vomit if they are
You know
near
the
me.
difference between a roach and a palmetto bug?
It doesn't matter if it's long and brown. If it's big enough,
Yeah.
I lose my mind.
You know what? The
I
actual
can't breathe.
cockroach is a little bitty thing.
I don't even care. I don't even care. If it has wings.
You're in the
if it makes
wrong
that
state to live. if you hate
sound when it.
cockroaches.
Oh.
Girl, you need to be like in. Now, California
poor
doesn't
bug
have
guy
roaches, but they
and
have
girl.
those silverfish everywhere.
I don't care about silverfish. They don't
Oh,
bother
you'd
me
be
at all.
fine in Cali then.
Let me tell you a story about silverfish. You want to hear it? It's hilarious. My daughter, who has a bleeding heart for all things that live, she found a couple silverfish and she put them into a bowl that she had like plants growing in or something.
So sweet.
She's very sweet. And as she kept finding silverfish, she kept putting them in a bowl. At one point, we had like 100 silverfish in this bowl. And I walk in her room. I don't do that often. She's a teenager, so you just don't go in the room. And I go in the room one day for something, and I'm looking around like, what the heck is happening in this bowl? And she's like, I was hoping you would never find out my dirty secret. I am
idea
keeping
of that
silverfish
many
in a bowl.
silverfish in one bowl kind of makes me kind of squeamish.
Well, evidently the cat didn't like it either because he knocked it over.
Okay. You two ladies,
bad.
I have to admit, you got me stumped. I have no idea what a silverfish is.
It's like
No
a
clue.
little mini lobster with no claws.
It's that long
and it has
bug.
it has a very crustacean shaped body, but it's literally maybe a quarter of an inch long.
Oh, no,
And-
not in my house. I'm sorry. In my house, they're a solid inch long. Really? We grow some big ones.
What?
Evidently, they have a lot to eat.
Oh my
and a
gosh,
lot
I
of
didn't even
paper.
know they
Oh,
had
that's a
that.
silverfish?
That's a silverfish. It has the
I
thing
just
that
called
looks
it a
like
gross bug with antennas.
It is a gross bug with antennas.
Yeah.
They don't really do anything other than they eat paper. It's kind of a pain.
I really don't care for
lot of
them because
paper.
they were my one enemy
Really?
in California that were not human.
Right.
Um,
Plenty of the others.
That was just I didn't really care for them. But I don't like roaches, but that's what teenagers are for. They kill them for you.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't breed that kind.
It definitely. I just got so upset one night when I saw one. I don't see them that often, but
Yeah,
you know,
no.
it's a
But
fact
it's
of
memorable.
life. If you're in Florida
Florida,
and you're in
no.
Ocala, certainly it's just part of life, right?
Oh, I don't like it.
I tried those peppermint sprinkle thingies.
Mm-mm.
No,
Oh, I just have a bug guy and a bug lady.
maybe I need to.
Fantastic.
I think there's a
love
bug guy
them.
where I live, but
There is.
he's obviously not.
Lori, would you like to see have it be a fly on the wall or have a camera on Vanessa when a palmetto bug
You
flies
should.
right at her.
You should.
I can't
Joe's
even-
like, listen, this
Sounds
is
like a horror
not
film.
normal. Like, you need to get over
She
it. It is a
faints
bug.
and vomits.
I faint, and then I wake up and vomit. Or I vomit, and then well, if I vomit first, I don't usually faint.
No,
Getting
if you have
better,
any
but it's a lot.
say in the matter, it would be a good idea
It's so bad.
to vomit first and then,
faint.
just so you don't vomit,
Vomit
while you're
while I'm
fainted.
fainted. Yeah, this is
then
true.
it would be awful to say she died
I
from
am
a
like
cockroach.
one of the, I'm just a genteel Southern lady,
Mm-hmm.
and the idea,
I'm not
the
buying
idea
that.
of a roach in my
She
home.
has the vapors.
It gives me the vapors.
Oh my gosh.
I think I need a fainting couch. That would be really cute.
Oh, you are hilarious because I'm just, combining that with the completely en fuego Latina that I know lives inside you. So,
100%.
okay.
And we'll talk about that after the break.
Yes. How do those two live inside one person? Somehow they manage to do that.
One on one side and one on the other. We do not let them.
WOCA,
We don't let
the
them
source.
get together.
Everybody's looking for BOGOs these days, and Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala has them.